let's go a little north of the United States to Canada now, where apparently anything can be deemed offensive. A news outlet in Ottawa this week posted an article entitled "Words and Phrases You May Want to Think Twice About Using." And they got the trusted help, of course, of anti-racism experts and linguists. Yes, there is such a job. And the news outlet was able to identify just some of the terms that are now offensive. Things like blackmail, blacklist, black sheep, spooky, spirit animal, tribe, savage, blindsided, brainstorm, and brigade. Okay, I don't find any of those offensive, but I perfectly understand why crazed leftists would. You see, it's got this thing called brainstorm in it, and they're just upset that they haven't got a brain, they haven't got logic, they haven't got reasoning, and so that offends them. That reminds them of just how stupid they are. They don't understand what the other words mean. I'm convinced of that. Anyway, you can ignore it.
It just goes to show you, it's always something. If it's not one thing, it's another.
And just before we go, let's end the evening with a word from the leader of the free world. I'll personally write a check to anybody who can decipher what Joe Biden is trying to convey here.
Yeah, that, well, what do you want to do with Biden? I want to box him. I should be so lucky. You know what I mean? But it is the kinds of things, or, stuff that's coming out of Florida, stuff that's coming out of, Robert E. Lee had been in Afghanistan. You'd have won. No, anyway.
Florida, Robert E. Lee. How is that man dressing himself, let alone leading the most powerful nation on earth?
Oh, good morning, everybody, on the 24th day of April 2026. I hope you liked that little memory reminder. I used to keep, well, I still do, keep a lot of videos. I got hard drives so full. Look at the deer eating the dandelion flowers like they're some kind of delicacy, and they probably are to the deer, as are dandelion leaves. You know that humans eat dandelions? They can make dandelion wine. They use the leaves and flowers in salads. It's not only healthy, or edible, it's healthy. And apparently the deer seem to know and understand that better than us people have. You can see a lawn that is perfectly green. They've been weed and feeding the heck out of it. As a matter of fact, that's something I used to do when I was much, much younger and, looked after my lawn. I wanted it perfect. Never, really thinking much about anything else except the commercial that we got sold. I mean, think about it. Billions have been made selling people that thought that dandelion is evil and the only thing you can do is spray the crap out of it. And you watch the deer, it's almost like they have this little pathway where you can see where the grass looks perfect. It was green, it's been, treated, and the other side you got the dandelions and the weeds. And where do the deer go? It's just... And I do wonder, is it because of a smell or a taste? What is it that alerts deer that don't go or don't eat grass from treated areas? And look at this, just like that, I went back to one of my old hard drives. I'm still going through all my video clips, incredible amount of stuff I kept. And this is going back now to 2007, yes. Created Thursday, December 2007. That's not when I filmed it. That's when I created this video clip, the takeoff from Cancun International Airport. I always used to find the dates that I created stuff, but I never looked on the day that I filmed it or recorded it. And this time I decided to do so, and wow, what a wake-up call. I made this video Saturday, November 17, 2007, flying from Cancun back to Toronto, spending the night in Toronto, and departing to Dominican Republic on the 18th of November. I remember, not only remember it, I got videos of all of that stuff, but I got a lot of other stuff that I saved on CD and DVD-ROM back in the day because it was cheaper than getting hard drives. I could just copy things out. And for some time, I haven't had a computer that can burn or even play CD, DVDs. And it really didn't bother me because I was not looking back in those days. But suddenly, you know, I can see all my DVDs and CDs and go, I want to see what's on them. And I do know I got some really good stuff on it from when I was taking the creative writing course, from writing different proposals, all kinds of stuff, including a lot of videos and still images I took. So just a few minutes ago, I looked up a CD, DVD player burner. You know, they're really friggin' cheap. So I am going to go out a little bit later and check on Best Buy and see if they got one there. And if they do, I want to bring one home and delay myself even more. That's what I say, delay, because every time I get into this older stuff, it delays me. I'm just amazed. I'm looking through my history. Look at that water. Look at that water below. That is what it's like. And those little boats going there from Aqua World in Cancun. Spent a week in the Riviera Maya, but came into Cancun for an Aqua World excursion. And they take you out in these little boats, 2 people per boat. There's a leader and you follow them. And they take you through the mangroves, out into the bay, you anchor, tie up, you go snorkeling, and then you go back. I loved that. It was such an experience. And who would have figured that having done that, on takeoff, you get to film it? You know, life can be really interesting at times. Now, before I get into too many other things, I want to show you a couple of videos from 2007 that I made talking about politics, because you think we're living in a new era with all this shit that's happening, excuse me for using the S word, but nothing's new. We've all lived through it. Only thing is, some people have a record of it.
American politics are so exciting. I mean, it's going to be a historic election for them. But in Canada, the minority conservative government of Stephen Harper also called an election. We have a little more than 30 days to figure out which party is best for us and to choose them. That leaves very precious little time for all the information to get out there, and for most Canadians who are laid back and don't want to be involved. And that's one of the saddest things about our political system in Canada, is that people just don't want to be involved. And one of the reasons for that is we've been so disillusioned by all these politicians, including Stephen Harper. He's not anyone I trust. The Conservative Party is no different than the Republican Party in the States. Their policies, their agendas, I mean, it's all the same. And in Canada, we have the Liberal Party, which is the strongest opposition. They're no different. There's no clear choice. And it's so sad when people get to the point where, well, which one is the lesser of the two evils? Who will I vote for? Because I'm tired of this government, so I might as well vote for the next one. But I know they're not going to be any different. It's truly a sad state of affairs. Things are going to have to change, and it's going to be up to the next generation, because these bozos have had politics in their own hands far too long, in their own pockets, run by big business, and it's sad. Now, one of the things I want to address about Canada, and again, I am not an expert on these fields like all these honorable men, but I'm going to talk about the energy situation in Canada and the oil sands. Canada is set to be the second largest oil producing country next to Saudi Arabia, that we have the largest oil reserves in the world, second only to Saudi Arabia. So, but our oil is not the kind that you pump out of ground. It has to be strip mined, huge strip mines. I mean, when I read that the strip mining is going to be the size of New York State, it is unbelievable. We're giving it away, absolutely giving it away. The oil and the tar sands should belong to all Canadians. Right now, ExxonMobil is one of the major players and is taking the money out of Canada. Now, I don't have any faith in ExxonMobil that they would at any point clean up the mess that they're going to leave behind. And already, the mess left behind is having a phenomenal impact on the environment. Unbelievable. I mean, there are birds that are landing in those tar ponds and dying. They can't get out because it's tar. It's not water. To a bird, that looks like water, and the ducks land in them and they die. But there's other things. Because Canada has sold its oil rights, I mean, we're not like Dubai where the country is the oil producer and the oil owner so that they can take all that wealth and improve the life of the people around. This is ExxonMobil and Shell and all their money. It's their oil. So because we've sold that, we're going to be allowing them to increase production. And by increasing production, we're going to be increasing the amount of carbon going into the atmosphere. At a time when most countries around the world are wanting to reduce carbon emissions and clean up the environment, Canada is fast-tracking, increasing it. More. It's all driven by greed and money. That is not a family man. That is not a leader. Stephen Harper called the election because he says government is dysfunctional. He just can't get things going. Well, I'm sorry. That is not good enough. If you're a leader, you work with what you have and you make things happen. You lead. You know, can you imagine if in a school the teacher said, well, okay, class is dismissed because I can't deal with you kids? That's crap. That is absolutely crap. Stephen Harper has to be held accountable. Environment to me is number one issue because it affects us today and it will affect the kids tomorrow, their grandchildren. It affects the world. It affects America. It affects China. It affects everyone. Environment is number one. Thank you. Why are Canadians not jumping up and down with joy at the news that Harper has announced that the troops will be coming out of Afghanistan by 2011? Because it once again demonstrates that this man cannot be trusted. That Harper will say and do whatever it takes to keep his power base, to keep the Conservatives in power in Canada. Now don't forget, this is the same little Napoleon wannabe who would have put Canada into Iraq. I mean, can you imagine if Canada would have been involved in Iraq? A war that was unjustly started for the wrong reasons on lies, that has cost the American taxpayers trillions of dollars, brought the world's economy down, made America look like the laughing stock of the world. I mean, he wanted to take Canada into that world. What's wrong with him? Can't he exercise any proper foresight and judgment? And right now, he has said that Canadians will be out of Afghanistan by 2011. So what does that say to the memory of all the dead soldiers so far? You died for nothing. It doesn't matter if we accomplish what we're there for or not. We're going to come home. Now, I'm all for bringing the troops out of Afghanistan, but I say too many soldiers have died already. Cut our losses and get them home now. Right now. Don't put a deadline that it's going to happen in 2011 or by 2011. Do it now. Be honest and upfront. Have some friggin' balls. But you know, politicians don't, because they play a political game. And their game is not based on what is right or wrong. It's not even based on what is good for the country, but what is good for big industry and business. Basically, if you take a look at Afghanistan and its history, oil pipeline for natural gas. Georgia, where Russia has incursions, oil pipeline. Iraq, oil. Iran, oil. Venezuela, which the United States is sparring with right now, oil. You know, there's many places where there is no oil involved and nobody cares about it. Haiti, how many people are dying in Haiti now because of the hurricanes? And there's minuscule effort underway to help them. In Darfur and other parts of Africa, unless we talk about Nigeria that has oil. So, what's happening? Now, in Afghanistan, we have supported a government that has allowed tribal warlords to come back, which were against the rule of the Taliban, drug production, which was against the rule of the Taliban. So what's happening? We are not affecting their drug production. Instead, we are intercepting it on our soil. When the drugs come in here, we fight drugs. When people are addicted to drugs here, we treat them. We handle the crime because of it. If we have soldiers in Afghanistan now, why are they not putting an end to the drug production? I mean, if you're walking by a field and you see it, what would it take to call in a strike onto it? But it's not happening because we don't want them pissed off at us. So while Harper plays his little game for oil and to appease the Bush administration in the States, Canadian soldiers are dying. And you know what? If you have any relatives in Afghanistan right now, or if you've lost any, or you've had any come back, even alive, who have lost limbs, who have post-traumatic stress disorder, you should be calling for a lawsuit or impeachment or anything we can to get Harper out of the government. He is not worthy of being Prime Minister. He has to be honest and take Canada out of that friggin' war now before we lose another 10, 20, 50, or another 100, 200 Canadian lives. Come on, get with the program, Harper. And forget about your friends.